Check 1 2 AC Sports Live on a Tuesday night, 21st day of October. It is 9:03. I'm in a place to be. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me once again on the AC Sports Live show. Going strong, season 6, episode 221. But no signs of quitting. No signs of quitting in sight. Again, this is therapy for the peopleization and myself. Talking sports, talking life. Everything's under the sun. Everybody has an opinion. That's why the comment section is open for everybody who has something to say about what's the goings on. UCLA, the slipper still fits as we beat Maryland, and we are up against the red hot Indiana Hoosiers this week. The MLB World Series is set. Dodgers, Blue Jays. LA versus Toronto. My Eagles got off the schneid after losing 2 in a row. Pull out a victory over the Minnesota Vikings at their court. With no pass rush in sight, BG, Brandon Graham, makes a return out of retirement. NBA opening night, Thunder, Rockets, Lakers, Warriors, which is still going on currently. It was halftime the last time I checked, 54-51, something like that. And a Coach Cobbz corner. What's up with all this interim success? Why is that? And are you teaching or just talking? A lot of coaches have forgot why they coach. And then whatever happened to the best players played? Why the favoritism? Why the isolation? We'll talk about that briefly. All right. I'm AC. This is AC Sports Live. And it's time. Let's go.
He ain't never slumber, never put him to the test. He be reigning king forever, resurrected after death. All praise to God, brother, say it with your chest. Say it with your chest, all praise to the one.
Yes, sir. All right. So I had a chance to go to the UCLA game this week. I wanted to see it for myself, to see if it was real. And I got down there. I made my fuss about my tickets last time, being in the Boondocks, sitting with the opposite team. And I went and got my ticket and my sideline pass. And, I was in row 5, so they did me a little bit better this time around. The then now and forever tailgate was for homecoming, so it was a very festive event. Good to see some good folks. Good to catch up with some people. I actually got to catch up with Weldon Ford and Brendan Amadejo. Talked to Jenny Johnson Jordan for a quick hot second. Jolie Oliver was there. Of course, a lot of alumni players were there. Some of the younger guys I don't necessarily know very well, but it was a good time. OG Chucky Miller was there. Carnell Lake, those guys were there. So it was a good time, and we got the dub. And we showed some moxie in a game that was very hard fought. And we did we got robbed on a couple of calls. Phantom calls that shouldn't have been made. Even the referee said, my bad. It was a young lady. We were too hard on her, but she called a clipping call, one of the biggest plays of the game, when the UCLA receiver didn't even touch the tackler, but she called it anyway and called back one of our biggest plays. But we still had enough time for Nico to get loose and to get us the dub, which makes 3 in a row. And as the line says, the slipper still fits. Cinderella's still dancing. As we approach this Saturday, we are now the big noon kickoff game versus Indiana. Indiana's number 3 in the country. We're supposed to lose by 25. Well, There's no time like the present for the Bruins. This will be a statement game. UCLA, take the points. We're going to be in this game. I think their head coach, Cignetti, had a great approach to this. This is a 3-0 team in the Big Ten. Don't let the 3-4 record fool you. We are still scratching our heads. What did Deshaun Foster do? And what did he not do to get the kids to not play like this for him? Shout out to Timmy Skipper and staff as they have turned this thing around. The UCLA hopeful are coming back around, and I saw some weird posts about, firing the AD. He's the reason why we had Deshaun Foster, and people just need to chill out. Things happen. Martin Jarmon was kind of cornered. He had to hire someone cheap, someone available, someone feel good for the moment that he had. And we got what we got. And we can't keep destroying Deshaun Foster. He was put into a no-win predicament. And now with the staff doing very well with what we have, and we can't get too excited. Jimmy Maxson here. Mac, we didn't win it, man. Our girls didn't get going into the second half. Partially, it's just, I wouldn't say it's my fault, but it's my fault. With only a day and a half to practice, Moton and I actually coached. He coached the defense, I coached the offense. We lost 18-14. We left some points on the board. First half, we just couldn't get going, man. They had better athletes than we had. We had a better scheme, but they just had better athletes. And they were a lot more aggressive when it comes to blocking, because you can only throw basketball screens. You can't, push. So they were much more aggressive when it comes to that. And their ball carriers had a natural flag blocking kind of gait. And they kind of got away with a lot of those. And they got away with a lot of blocking. It wasn't until the second half when the refs started calling it, and that's kind of gave us the green light to come back. And I had to figure out a way to get young ladies who weren't as fast as the other team open, and then to have them run routes without looking back at the quarterback as they ran the route. So that's a whole nother coaching moment where if you don't have time to teach what you need them to do, it's almost impossible to win a football game without having time and rapport. He was about to text me. Yeah, it was cool, man. I feel bad for the seniors, but all the young girls were super excited that the possibilities are still there. They have a lot of potential. Some of the best players were underclassmen. The quarterback's a 10th grader, so it went pretty well considering the circumstances. Shame on the situation that threw us in this predicament where a playoff-bound coach just resigns the day before the playoffs, and then they have to ask the teachers who are on staff to kind of fill in, and here's your playbook, good luck. And I'm like, whoa, these plays come straight out of the internet playbook, and they're not realistic versus talent. You have to kind of move some people around. It's a lot. Now, I can't guarantee I would be back, but I did not dislike the opportunity. It was fun. The girls were excited. The girls listened. And we almost pulled it out. We just needed a couple more minutes on that clock. We got the last fourth down that we needed, the fourth down stop, but we had no timeouts left. So all they had to do was run the clock out. I wanted them to punt it to us one time. I was going to set up a wall and just have them play basketball down the sideline and see if we can't make something happen. Some magic and some twists and some pivots and hopefully squeeze up in the end zone, but it wasn't meant to be. So it was a good experience. Glad I could help. But when you give somebody a little bit, they want more. So they're like, when are you going to train us? When are we going to do more? When are you going to get? I was like, hey, calm down. I was still a full dad, a full pastor, a full-on teacher, full-on husband, all that stuff, man. I got to get my life together. There's too much going on. I got to teach Bible study tomorrow night. It's a lot, man. Max said, I know it's a lot. You don't have to tell me. We are 13-7-1 right now. I lost a total of 6 games the previous 2 seasons. Oh, so you had a rough one. And when you don't have the talent, and the girls are talented, but sometimes it's not as talented every single year. I got a text just now from my drill brothers, UCLA management, boasts about being at the top of the conference for a bit, up there with the best in the country. And they will be plenty of happy with the conversation and argue we don't need to get a proven head coach to win in Westwood. We can win and pay less. He said, speak on the AC. Can the Bruins win without bringing in a notable, recognizable head coach? Can we rock with Timmy Skipper and Jerry Neuheisel calling offensive plays? I think we have our defensive coordinator is Knowles. I'm not sure who the DC is, but winning fixes a lot. Winning fixes a lot. The alumni tent was popping. It was crowded in there. The last time we went, it was, plenty of room, no line to get drinks. This time, you could forget about it. You can only grab a bottle of water. That line was so long. Everybody was there. So it's a buzz in Westwood right now. It's a great day to be alive and be a Bruin. Will it be so after Saturday? That's when the slipper either comes off, all the way off, the slipper and the high heel snaps off in half, or the slipper stays on and we keep riding this wave. I saw a very interesting Instagram post. It said chaos. It said chaos if UCLA wins out. And I thought this was pretty interesting. Let me see if I can find it. Did it not come in? I thought it came in. Where would I find it? Dancing 10U. Where'd that video go? I think I messed up my order of videos. Am I not in the right scenes? Yeah, I'm in the right scenes. Where'd it go? I don't see it. I know I downloaded it. Let me see if I can find it. It was a scenario that what happens if UCLA wins out. All right, here we go. All right. So UCLA still has a path to the playoffs after an 0-4 start. All right, this is one of those troll posts, but hear me out. If we went out with an 8-4 record, we just beat Maryland. We got Indiana at Indiana. We got Nebraska at the Rose Bowl. We got Ohio State at Ohio State. Washington at the Rose Bowl. Let me go down the street to a USC. Anything is possible except the Ohio State game. I think that one right there is going to kill this deal, but just continue to watch. We can win the Big Ten with a 9-4 record. Play Oregon in the Big Ten championship game. They say revenge game over Dante Moore. I ain't even gonna call it that because Chip Kelly destroyed that young man, and I said, get out of here while you can, Dante Moore. So good for him getting out of the Chip Kelly conundrum where he threw him to the wolves. I'm still mad about that. First round playoff game at 10-4 in the college football championship series. Rose Bowl home game with 11-4 record in the BCS playoffs. Fiesta Bowl semifinal with 12-4 record. National championship in Miami with a 13-4 record. If we run the table, this is what it ends up. And this is where the post gets crazy. Do it for DTR. I said, oh, come on, man. why we doing it for DTR? I saw DTR at the game. He has just been released from the NFL, so he's waiting for a phone call. I believe his last team were the Eagles. Do it for DTR is crazy. So that means this whole post was a troll. All good. It's all good. B Ward said, we at the top, 3-0 in the Big Ten. Well, no, we lost to Northwestern, so we have lost one. But since the staff has been removed and replaced, we've been 3-0. So the Indiana team is just saying this is a different team. Do not overlook these boys. They play in a different brand of ball. And I agree. Very much so. A different brand of ball. Found a way to win. Had that been Chip Kelly's regime, remember those days where he found ways to lose? We would have lost that game. Notice I just surpassed Deshaun Foster and blame this on Chip Kelly. He set us back quite a bit. But I think we can cover the spread, if not shock the world. 24.5 points is a lot, especially for a team with as much talent as UCLA has. We played so bad the first 4 games, you forgot who we had on our roster. I want to shout out to Roderick Pleasant, who played on the right corner. He played an excellent game. I saw him break up so many passes versus some talented receivers from Maryland. He did an excellent job, man. Our running backs carried the ball well. Our receivers caught the ball well. Of course, we would have liked to have scored more points, but Maryland was a good team. They came in there with a pretty good record, so I'm glad we got what we got. We get the dream matchup. Mac's dream matchup is the Dodgers versus the Blue Jays starting Friday. If you did not see the performance by Shohei Ohtani, you will not see NA as good as Ohtani anytime soon. That man pitched, that man hit. They were calling him the best athlete of all times. Babe Ruth would be proud. And somewhere, LeBron James was watching in the hot tub like Scarface, sitting, bubbles all over the place, cigar in his mouth, watching the game. And he heard the sportscaster say he might just be the best athlete of all times. And LeBron James goes crazy. I think it was Ron Darling. Ron Darling said something on the lines of, we all pitched and hit as kids, but none of us did it like this, at this level. We did it until we couldn't. That was the phrase. We did it until we couldn't. And that was an argument we made when Ohtani came to the Dodgers, like, is he the best baseball player of all time? And I said, well, under the circumstances, a lot of us weren't allowed to play both, like pitch and hit after Pony. we're encouraged and discouraged to pick one. Can't do both. And I'm wondering if that was the case, man, because most of us played with guys who were the best pitcher and the best hitter. They maybe didn't go on to pursue or continue, but I would like to have believed somebody out there. Now, Ohtani might have been made in a lab because we've never seen his parents, right? Is that what our conversation was, Tim Hood? We ain't never seen Ohtani's parents. He might be a cyborg from the future for all we know. But the man hit 3 homers and pitched 10 strikeout in 7 innings. Nobody. I'm not sure if we can say nobody will. In the near future, I don't see it. But Dodgers, Blue Jays start Friday. Like I said on Max Post, Blue Jays, the Barcays, Honey Glaze, Dodgers in 5. Dodgers in 5. The Eagles got to win versus the Vikings. And Jalen Hurts, once again, proving them wrong. Perfect game. Was it 158.9 QBR? Getting both of his superstar receivers. The Rock. A.J. Brown getting 2 tubs. Devontae Smith almost 200 yards. Touchdown. 9 catches. It still didn't look like A.J. Brown was happy though. But I have hope because they look like they're getting through it together. As I saw them pray together the previous game, when you don't have the answers, when you don't know what's really the next step, how we get through this, I believe in prayer, man. I believe in prayer. Max said, Los Doyers in 5. 5. 5. Max said the Eagles OC needs a plan. He has no plan for Saquon. But we knew Saquon was going to be cursed this year for his off-season activities. So he going to have to ask for forgiveness in order for the line to block for him. What did Jamie Foxx say in Any Given Sunday? I don't even need anybody. I just got that invisible juice and I'm gone. And the offensive line stopped blocking for him. He got tore up. And he said, if y'all not going to block, forget y'all. I'll do it myself. He was getting tore up. And that's what Saquon looking like. Every time he get the rock, it's somebody in his face. And these are the same, well, missing a couple of linemen, injuries and things. But you still got one of the best lines in the league, and you can't get 100 yards. That means these defenses are not having it. And they're going to make Jalen Hurts win with his arm. And that's what we did against Minnesota. So I think we'll be fine. Brandon Graham comes back to help us on that pass rush front. Like, we shouldn't have to blitz every down to get pressure. And you can't expect Jalen Carter to get back there on a double and triple team. Guys got to get there, man. Guys got to contain. Welcome back, Jacoby Dean. He played a solid game next to Jahad Campbell. Cooper DeJean played solid. Of course, Guantanamo Bay Mitchell played solid. I think we're still in the hunt. Still looking good. Every time we win, it just looks like, okay, we got the goods. We got the goods. NBA opening nights tonight. I'm blazing through, man. I'm dog tired. I was up this morning swimming, got to school and had to do this game plan, put together some plays. I had a play call sheet like I used to do. Had my little play cards. Had my situations on the back. I had to get into coach mode. I'm not in coach shape, man. I'm dog tired. My throat hurts from screaming. getting these kids going. And I think they enjoyed it. They had a good time. They just didn't get the W. But that was hard watching the young girls cry. But the girls that understood the situation, understand they have a bright future. Had to remind me of the Saquon shucking and jiving in the offseason. He was, hello, my honey, hello, my darling. Hey, I'm going to go play president. I'm going to play some golf with the president. Okay. See how that fares you. It's not going very well. It's not. I mean, I need to watch the Saquon documentary. I think it's on Amazon Prime. What I can't wait to see is the Allen Iverson documentary. That's coming out real soon, too. I want to say it's this week. AI is my dude, man. He came up when we came up. He got locked up when we were coming out of high school. And I felt for him, man. I was like, man, this dude didn't beat the whole bowling alley by himself. He weighed 165 pounds. How so? How you said, Mac? How sway? There's a little guy beat up an entire bowling alley and be the only. I don't get it, man. You know why it is. You know how it is. The Thunder outlast the Rockets in double OT. Shai Gilgeous versus Kevin Durant and his group. Pretty good opening night. Lakers Warriors are going on right now. Check the scoreboard. Golden State up by 12 in the fourth with 5:56 to go. With 73 games on the schedule, you can't really say a whole lot about the first time out. But without LeBron James, we don't know what the Lakers are going to look like. Skinny Luka, let's see box score. What is Skinny Luka doing? Is this new and improved Luka? Luka has 35 minutes and 39 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. Luka is doing Luka's thing. So thin Luka is all right. I was wondering if thin Luka was going to be effective. I saw thin Zion not jump to catch it. Oop, he just caught the pass and dunked it. Nice and easy. Sometimes you need that girth, man. You need a big fella. Luka was a big fella. Zion was a big fella. But you can't win for losing. We're never going to be happy and proud and satisfied. You like fat Luka or skinny Luka? You like big fat Zion or skinny Zion? Who's more? I'm glad Embiid lost some weight. Lakers in 5, Sixers in 6, maybe. Coach Cobb's corner. So what is this thing, man? Like I had Moton and I had to step in to coach. Again, we had a practice and a half. I didn't expect to have the entire personnel package memorized and know who we have. I didn't know half the girls' names, sad to say. I'm trying my best to learn their names in one day. It didn't happen, but they actually had a good time. Just from what I felt and what I saw and how they were so happy and thankful that we came. We changed the whole dynamic of how the girls approached the game. I'm not sure what the previous coach did, but the girls were not enjoying themselves. And it didn't appear that the best players played. Like we saw a few of the girls catch the ball and run as we worked them out a little bit the first practice. And we were like, well, they kept telling us they were on JV moving up to varsity. I'm like, well, you have better talent than some of the varsity girls. And just because you're not an upperclassman, you're on JV. Is that how that works? So I'm thinking to myself, we didn't grow up like that. We grew up as the best players played. You do have some seniority that seniors do get a little pecking order love, but they don't dominate the playing time if they're not better. So that's something I was trying to dispel with the young ladies. I like, don't let your age or what somebody might have said dictate how hard you play and what your effort's going to be. If we see you deserve to play and you have knowledge of what's happening, you're going to play. And we got some of those young ladies in the game today. Our JV secondary was begging to go in the game. I said, well, we can't talk crazy about the first string because that's division. That's not team camaraderie. That's not teamwork. That's not togetherness. That's division. So once I got them to stop talking that way, and I talked to Moton, he ran the defense. We just get the young ladies in, give the first team a break because they were playing offense and defense. And they went in there and did a pretty good job. And they got their feet wet in CIF. So that was a good thing. But they should have been rotating in all season, because they were just as good, if not better, at certain things. And that's where I'm like, man, I'm so thankful I grew up in an era with coaches that put kids out there who work hard and show every week when it's time to compete that they want to compete. Shout out to Coach Tony and Jerome as we played junior Bantam and Bantam Pee Wee football before high school. And we learned that the best players played, period. And if you didn't start, you got in there. You got equal amount of time because you were just as good. And that's why we were so good, because the competition level was way harder in practice than it was in the games. So interim success is happening because kids get to show what they can do to the new staff. And the belief, I had to take my coach's mandatory coaching workshop to get cleared, and I had to go back over those fundamentals of coaching, and some of the things that are in there are true as far as the approach. How do you speak to young people today? We were built different, so our coaches could be a little bit harder on us. They could condition us with a penalty. If you did things wrong or we weren't disciplined, we got disciplined by running, by doing excruciating exercises, and it got us right. But my thing with all this is, what are you saying to these young people? You've been put in control of who plays. You've been put in control of how the young players think about themselves. A lot of coaches today, I'm not sure when did this begin, but they expect an all-star team every time. When in actuality, development happens even on the pro level. To get someone to play a certain brand of ball, you have to teach. You just can't tell kids things aren't good enough. You have to teach. Coaches are the most influential piece of a young athlete's development. So it's imperative that you find a way, and this is for parents as I'm doing Coach Cobbz Corner, to make sure your kids are being taught and not simply talked at. Because their progression, just like in school, you're with your teachers 7 to 8 hours a day. It's important to be in a good school, because those school environments will dictate your students' progress and success long term. Position coaches, strength coaches, even the head coach, coordinators, their voice, their praise, their lack thereof can stunt a player's growth. So you'll see your players getting worse. There's something wrong with your messaging. Your job is to inspire, to see and correct, to get a student to run through a wall for you. If you don't give them a reason to run through a wall for you, then your messaging is wrong. I'm not even considering myself a great coach, but I know I'm a great communicator, and I listen. I had young ladies today trying to tell me what plays worked when they were playing against a certain type of defense, and I listened. I said, well, we can't execute that. There's too much that has to happen. However, let's try this. And they were like, okay. They went out there and they scored. They were so happy, simply because we thought about it, we talked about it, and we executed it. So now they think that that's how it should be all the time. Then they're going to run into the next coach and they might not have the same empathy and listening, and it's going to be tough. But that's kind of how it is when athletics are there to teach young people about the real world. So hopefully coaches get back to coaching. Parents, be mindful of who you're putting your children, your child, your young athlete, your college athletes whose care you putting them in, because it's very important for the process, for the progress of their careers. They only going to be athletes until they're 30 years old, if they're blessed. 30 years old. After that, they got to be citizens. They're going to have to be citizens who do normal tasks in normal environments. So stay on top of them coaches. And if you can, or if you have to, you got to start doing plan B. Finding a place that you fit, where you can be successful and happy. That's so important, man. Tender love. Carson Beck. Miami Hurricanes lost. And he says if he would have ran the right route, the ball would not have been intercepted. And those who know Carson Beck said this is not surprising that he would say such a thing, throwing his own teammate under the bus when he didn't throw the ball. He didn't communicate with the receiver what the adjustment would be. He just said if he would have ran the right route. That locker room is now uncomfortable. It's awkward. And that receiver does not mess with that quarterback anymore. And the quarterback holds the keys to that receiver's future. But shame on him. Shame on him. Another tender love moment. Did I bring the picture in of Bijan Robinson? What we doing? Okay. Are those draws? Are those red polka dot boxers? Are those penny loafers and striped socks? Is that a cardigan sweater? All you're missing, man, is some knickerbockers and a purse. You got a good sized duffel bag. We're not going to trip on that. But man, a wife beater and a cardigan and drawers is crazy. And hard shoes and striped socks. Like this is happy days. What are these fashion designers doing? Like he didn't pick this out himself. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He ain't picked this out. A designer said, a fashion person said, this is going to be hot. You're going to kill him with this. Nah, fam. That ain't the way to go. AT3, I instantly was done with Saquon when I heard who he went golfing with. And he had the audacity to get indignant when all my cousins asked him about it. He don't know the score, man. He's living that good suburban life. That good elite life. He living that OJ life. I'm not black life. Penn State. Lily White wife. Like Becky White. Not Megan White. Becky White. But to each his own. Hopefully he gets his invite to the barbecue back and gets back on track so he can give us 1,000 yards maybe the rest of the way. The O-line is still not blocking as they should for him, so something is not happening in that locker room. Hope they can get it turned around. On a sad note, Doug Martin, they say passed away, but from what we are reading, he dealt with mental illness, possibly CTE related. He died in police custody. And they said after some resistance. And from what we know historically in the last 10 years or so, we know exactly what this is. Strong brother, possibly a little bit belligerent in that he was dealing with mental illness and he was being arrested or detained for something, resist a little bit, and they do a Radio Raheem when they get him down to the precinct, and all of a sudden he's no longer with us. Cause of death unknown. And now whenever I see that, when I see cause of death unknown in police custody, red flag. This is what his agent said. His agent said, following recent media reports about Doug Martin's untimely passing, the family wishes to clarify the circumstances. Doug's parents were actively seeking medical assistance for him and had contacted local authorities for support. Feeling overwhelmed and disoriented, Doug fled his home during the night and entered a neighbor's residence 2 doors down, where he was taken into custody by police. An investigation into what happened or was transpired as he was detained is underway. Sounds like Radio Raheem to me. Unfortunate. Prayers to his family, all that played with him and knew him. Unfortunate, man. I remember Doug Martin was a tough back, tough player, and he's dealing with other spirits on his brain. Of course, they're going to say CTE. We'll never get the true account. His body cam's going to be missing some footage. We know how this goes, man. We've been here before, unfortunately. Again, thoughts and prayers out to the family, the Doug Martin family, those who played with him, those who knew him, man. On my way out, I coached with my boy, Moton, today, and he's a Q. And I saw Unk season that might make everything all right. Once again, no matter how old you are, these old Qs get a fountain of youth when this song comes on. All of a sudden, no sore back, no sore knees. It is on and cracking. Shout out to the Qs. They know they better watch it when this song comes on, man. Shout out to my man Chris Moton and the Qs. Always fun to watch the old heads get loose. One time for old time's sake. All right, that's my show, y'all. Hope y'all had a wonderful, wonderful week. And this week, my message last Sunday was, let's begin, if we haven't already, to ascend to our calling in this faith. And that is applicable to every walk of your life, man. Let's go to that next level. Let's get above the clouds and soar. People don't want to see you grow. People don't want to see you prosper. Forget them. We're concentrating on where we got to go. I might come back down there, holler at you for a quick hot minute to give you some inspiration. But I got places to be, things to see, people to reach. And you can't do that if you're down on the ground with the crows, the haters, and the miry clay. Get off this ground, man. Live a life edifying, pleasing. I get one more week to teach. I'll probably teach tomorrow, Wednesday night Bible class, and Sunday morning service this week. So I'm a little bit busy, but I'm looking forward to it. Shout out to Unc on all the OGs, still feeling young, still getting it in. You're only as young as you feel, yo. All right, man, that's my time. Gonna give me a bowl of sketty. My wife made some good sketty. I'm gonna have some sketty and some garlic toast and enjoy the rest of my night. It looks like the Lakers lost 119-109. Game 1, out the gate. Steph Curry. What Steph Curry do? 23-4. Didn't have his best game ever. But Jimmy Butler had 31-5. Big face Jimmy Butler in the building. All right, y'all. Until next time. AC Sports Live. I'm out. Oh, yeah. And this show is brought to us by All In CDL Training. It's picking up, yo. So get your bid in now to come down and get your license. Don't worry about the money. AllinCDLtraining.com. Check them out. All right, y'all. I'm AC. I'm out.